What is going on, everybody? Check, testing, check 1, 2. Making sure that the is up. Check, 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 check. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by something on social media real quick. Gonna post that I am live in the channel's group page. All right, so I'm back. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's been well, doing well, all of that. On this Saturday, it is the 22nd. We are drawing near to the close of the month of February. But, with that, NBA is back officially, finally, after being gone from the All-Star break. Things are picking up in the NCAA. March Madness is right around the corner. I'm feeling real good about my NCAA picks more recently, and even the NBA picks more recently too. Just with how I've been switching up my style of picks currently, but still every so often, still pushing for some parlays. But at the end of the day, as a better, when you're really in this betting in these betting streets, the main focal point is single bets, and you just you literally putting 10, 15, 30, a full unit, which is $100 down, in hopes that the players or whatever your pick, the spread or whatever, goes out there and handles his business the way the way that you're hoping it for. And then you can still do $5. You can still do $1. You can still do cents on $1. I do a variation of some of the stuff that I just mentioned, so when it's pertaining to my picks. But be sure to follow me over on Twitter or X, whichever you want to call it, at Vortex46. For a plethora of my picks, I'm starting to really break down some of the picks per how outlier and what I'm seeing from outlier, and even a little bit from a couple other sources that are more on the free side. But as always, going with some gut picks, and definitely again from what outlier shows me, and I'm just like, that sounds like a fairly decent thing to pick, a really good pick, or just like I said, just gut picks, and you're like, I feel like this could hit, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it doesn't hit at all, where it doesn't fall left or right, it just sits, and you go, say, like yesterday I went 7-1. I had 15 total picks, and one of those picks was the Memphis Grizzlies to win the first half on the road, and both teams scored 31 points. Not 31, 61 points in the first half as a total, if I remember correctly. Sorry, my eyelashes I don't like having long eyelashes. I really don't. They sometimes just fall in my eyes, and it's just like, Argh. But with that, let's dive into some of these picks today, and definitely try to hurry up and talk about my 2 lock picks, because I went 2-0 yesterday per the 2 lock picks that I had. I actually did pick them during the stream. I just forgot to mention the picks. But needless to say, I did indeed make it happen. Hold on. So, where are you? It was the first lock pick was for RJ Barrett to go for 20 points. He finished with 29 at home in a loss to Miami. Miami won 120 to 111. And the other pick was for the New York Knicks to go under their team total points on the road at Cleveland. Cleveland blew them out the water. You hear me? Blew them out the water. And held them to 105 points. The team total, I took the team total under of 115 for that game. I just had that feeling like New York was balling out lately, and it was really was a gut feeling. I was like, New York has been balling lately. Cat's been balling, which he technically still did last night. But I literally looked at what they did the game before. When you really look at what New York Knicks did the game before, that's when I was like, you know what? I feel like the Knicks are not going to do what they did last night. Like I said, they've been balling lately, and it was the game before. Again, this was a back-to-back game for them. They went from coming from playing in New York to heading over to Ohio. Not that far away, by the way. But they went into an OT game, right? I correlated all this. Went in OT at home against Chicago, and they balled out. You know, McBride had 23 points. Brunson had double-double. Cat went off for 32 and 18. Bridges was grabbing rebounds but couldn't really score, and then Achua was grabbing rebounds but really couldn't score. I looked at all of that, and that was my assessment. I was like, New York is probably more than likely, per the couple of players that went off, more so McBride. I was like, McBride's not going to have 20 plus points. You know, he may possibly get 15. He finished with 14. Precious Achua, he still struggled. He got rebounds. He had one more rebound than the night before. He had 10, but he had 7 points. That's why I was like, yeah. Then plus, really wasn't sure if Anunoby was playing. He struggled. He only had 5 points in 26 minutes. Only one steal. You know, all of that stuff. So I was just like, yeah. And then Carl, you know, well, he didn't really go off, but he looks like he struggled. Well, not really. He was 10 for 15. He had 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4. But I also looked at Cleveland's defense, what they're doing against teams, and I was like, there's a chance that they're gonna hold New York to, you know, even if they score say 110 points, whatever. I just had that feeling, and that gut feeling worked out. So that was one of the things. But in totality, I shared this on my Twitter account, basically stating that I went 7-7-1, and I gotta go. Here we go. So I went 4-6-1 to the NBA, because again, the Memphis Grizzlies tied with you know, on the road, and then I went 3-1 in my 4 picks for the NCAA. So originally I had 4 NCAA picks for the day. They were more so for the earlier games, for the 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock games, where I took Oregon to go over their team total points. That one was a real huge sweat, because they struggled to score in the first half, and then in the second half it was the same, but it was like oh shoot, there we go. It was like Wisconsin was also struggling in the second half to score. So when the score hit, it was like 15 seconds left, 17 seconds left. When the score hit 60s, when it was 66-63, Wisconsin was up. The only thing that popped in my head was, I need Oregon to hit a 3, tie this up or something, whatever, drive to the line, score a bucket and get an and one, or, you know, or foul to go to the line. And yeah, you know, that was my thought process. I needed it to go into OT, and I was at work, and yeah, it went into OT. It was still a sweat, even pushing towards the 1 minute mark left in the second half, in that OT, where Oregon was sitting on, you know, like 69 points or 68 or whatever, and I needed them to get, you know, again, their team total point over was 74 points, 73 and a half, and I needed them to score 5 more points, and they officially got it. And they won 77-73. So I'll take that win. So that was that pick. I took the over in the Tennessee Volunteers at Texas A&M. That one went over. It was 130.5. That one cashed. They went over that number. I just don't specifically remember what the final number was. But I did also take. I'm mad at myself for this one. Marshall Thundering Herd at Appalachian State. I was really leaning towards Marshall's spread 2.5. I didn't take it. They won 69-59. The under hit instead of the over. I went with the over 137.5. Yeah, that didn't cash. So yeah, that's why I said I was leaning towards Marshall, but the over looked a little bit better to me in my opinion. But like I said, my gut was telling me to take the 2.5. You know, sometimes you just don't go with your gut, and that's what I did. I didn't go with my gut, and I should have, because I was, like I said, I was really leaning towards Marshall's. It was either 2.5 or 3.5. I can't remember which one. Maybe 3.5, but I didn't do it. I didn't take it. Like I said, Marshall won 69-59, and the under hit instead of the over. I gotta check on this one. I took Iowa State's 12.5 plus 12.5 at Houston today. Let me double check that real quickly. I'm trying to run through all this so we can get to as fast as possible to the NBA stuff, because I have 2 lock picks for the NBA today. More specifically, the first game that's starting in like 15 minutes or whatever. Let me see. There are like 130 something games today. I didn't know that there were that many games today that were happening. I can't find Houston at all. There we go. So it cashed. Iowa State lost by 9 points. It cashed. I'll take that cash, baby. Because I was wondering, because I looked on my Pickett account, as I always say, create a Pickett account. It's free. It follows all of your picks per all of your sports books. You sync it all, and it gives you an ending record for the end of the day. Collects all that data and stuff, even for the for the year and all of that stuff. And I was 2-1. I'm currently 2-1. I think I'm 2-1 right now. So yeah, that one cashed. Plus 12.5. Something was telling me to take that, and I took it. I did it. I'm glad I did. That one cashed. And there was something else. Okay, so this is more recent. I took the Georgia Bulldogs. The game's going on right now. I don't think it'll let me do it. I'm taking the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia is my favorite football team, so of course I still would pay attention a little bit to the basketball team. We just, yeah, I don't know if we're ever gonna win a national championship, hoop championship. I don't know if that's ever gonna be a possibility. But I basically took the over for them to score. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know. For them to score 65 points, 64.5, minus 110 over on DraftKings. Pretty much they've hit this mark 70% of the time. And over the last 10 games, they're averaging 71 points. And they're going against Auburn, the Tigers. Their defense are actually allowing 68 points per game. And against the Tigers, my Bulldogs are averaging 74 points in the 3 games that they've met. So the only question is, are we going to get this 65 points? Let me try to find the game real quickly. Can't seem to find it. And there we go. Okay, so yeah, that might not happen. Auburn but Auburn's struggling to score too. So they're this is letting me know. Okay, there's 42 seconds left in the first half. The score is actually 26-19. So I grabbed it simply because I felt that Georgia had a possibility to make the magic happen. Because again, per the stats, per what it was saying. But, now that they've only scored basically like maybe 20 points. Ooh, Kansas. Sheesh. I was thinking about tailing Oklahoma State against Kansas, but luckily I didn't because they're up 52-23 with 34 seconds left in the first half. But yeah, I think Georgia, 21 points with 30 seconds left. I don't think it's gonna hit. They literally have to score 40, like 43, 44. They have to score 40, 44, 45, something like that, some points in the second half for them to cover the number that I put. I don't see it happening. So we'll see what happens in the second half. And the other pick was for the again, this is the 4 o'clock games that are currently happening now. The other pick is Central Connecticut to cover the spread, which is -8.5 at home. They are 4-1 against the number the last 5 games. While the Skyhawks, because they're playing the Stonehill, they are 5-0 against the spread. So it was just like I've really kind of felt like I was more so looking at how they're playing, like the Skyhawks on the road, how many points they're scoring compared to their opponents, and then I looked at Central Connecticut, what they're doing. I was like, I kind of feel like the home team has a chance to really win by 9 points or more today. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, Presbyterian. The Presbyterian Blue Hose. I took their team total points over, which is 65, -102 over on FanDuel. Last 10 games they're averaging 73 points. They're 10-0, like literally 10 straight games, probably a little bit more than that. I didn't look at the last 20, but at least the last 10 games they're 10-0 with going over that number. While the Highlanders, Radford, they are allowing, per the defense, allowing 70 points per game. But in the last 3 meetings, the Blue Hose are currently averaging 68 against Radford. So yeah, that was like a no-brainer. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely taking that real quick. But that's pretty much those specific NCAA callers picks. Let's dive into real quickly the NBA. Then I'll dive into maybe 1 or 2 picks for the 6 or 7 o'clock NCAA games. So I have 5 picks in total here. Again, I'm pretty much using my Twitter account to really go over and the reasons why I picked what I picked. So first lock pick was the first game. Again, it's getting ready to start maybe several minutes from now. Phoenix, I decided to fade their team total points here. Now let's see if the line moved. I grabbed this over on BetMGM for them to go under 122 points, 121.5, -115. Again on so actually the number went up 2, looks like. This is the bet, like this is like the best value, but this is the actual worth. It's -112. So, but as you see, they are literally like they haven't been going over the mark in a good while. But like I said, I grabbed this one, -121.5 here. I mean, not minus, but 121.5, but now it's at plus value. But as you see, they're averaging 115 points. And then in the last 10 games, they're hitting this mark at 80%. The Bulls defense is actually, as you see over here, though, they're actually allowing 121 points literally on the number that I'm fading. The head-to-head matchup, though, the 2 meetings, though, Phoenix has gone under this number. They're literally averaging 116 points in the last two meetings from last season. So, um, so that's the main reason why I decided to go with this pick, is because they're really not covering this specific spot. They're struggling to score. They as you really look at it, they've gone over this mark once. So it's just like, this was like a no-brainer. I was like, let me just lock this in and see what happens tonight, because again, Phoenix is struggling really, 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 really bad right now. So that's that. Next up, and pretty much for the NBA, pretty much all of the picks are either team total points over or under, and I believe it was all. I think it was like, well, not all of the picks, but like, because there's 5 games, so I think like 3 of them are team total points. The next lock pick is for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm fading the Brooklyn Nets on the road. Let's see if the number moved. Let's find out here. It did not. So I'm fading the Brooklyn Nets. BetMGM, I grabbed this. No, wait. Is it BetMGM? Yeah, BetMGM, I grabbed this morning, minus 105. Fading their 100.5 for them to go under 101 points. As you see here, they've hit this mark 60% of the time. They're averaging 100 on the nose. But the last 5 games are actually averaging 100. It's 99.6. And then when you look at Philly's defense, though, they're actually allowing 113 points. So I decided to go with a different type of a risk, because again, Philly's defense sucks. But at the same time, when we look at, even at the head-to-head matchup too, Brooklyn is actually averaging over the number. They're averaging 104 points against Philly. But when you really even look at the last 4 games, though, they've gone under the number every time. So even this season, it's been 3 straight games where they've gone under this number against Philly, whether at home or on the road. So they went under twice in Philly, twice at home. So Brooklyn is down roughly right now with their team and what they're doing and everything. And then on top of that, main reason why I did grab it too is because the day before, I think it was yesterday, I think I was at work too when I was off yesterday, but I got the notification on my phone that said that D'Lo was not playing in this game. So I was just like, I had to remember, like, oh, okay, D'Lo's not playing. Cam's still out. They only have Cameron Johnson. So it's just like, yeah, I kind of have that feeling. We'll see what happens. Philly may, somebody, and that's the thing. I literally just got to somebody shared this specific pick on Twitter. Somebody said that they have a feeling that the Nets are gonna win. They decided to put money on the Nets to win. So I'm like, hey, make it do what it do, son. You know what I mean? You dig? Because I remind you, dig? Next up, I decided to fade this specific game, but now I'm mad because the number went up. The total, Denver hosting the LA Lakers. I looked at it. Lakers, here's the thing. This is still a spot here for this to possibly hit and work out. Key factors. Lakers on the road. They are 9-1 to the total not hitting. As you look on here, they've only hit over once, and that was this month on the 12th at Utah, right? But Denver at home, they are struggling to cover the under, right? They've only hit this mark 4 out of the last 10 games. 3 straight games have gone over the mark. But here's one of the main reasons why I took this specific spot. I'm fading the number is because of the head-to-head matchup. 4 straight games that the Lakers, whether the Lakers are on the road, well, technically, yeah, whether the Lakers are on the road here, the number has hit under the mark, and whether the Denver is at home too. So yeah. And even with LA being at home, 5 games in LA, it's hit too. You can definitely say, and even away, the number is hit. So it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this seems like a perfect trend that is continuing, and you might as well just ride the wave. And that's what I'm deciding to do. I'm gonna ride this wave, and I don't know if I'm gonna ride it in the next game. Maybe it depends on where the number is, but I got this over on BetMGM minus 105. 240 and a half. That's where it started at this morning. So as you see, it jumped up to 240, 243 and a half to 244. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to just suck this up and hope for the best and hope that it does go under 241. We'll see what happens with this pick. Next up, I went with the Jazz in the last game. I thought that they were going to at least not lose big against my Thunder. That didn't happen. My Thunder blew them out the water by like 20 plus points or something. Because I grabbed them to cover the number at originally it was 15, but it dipped down to 14 and a half. And at the time, Marketing and somebody else, I think it was Jordan Clark, some of the players were questionable, so I wasn't sure. But once, I even talked about it in the live stream yesterday, I was like, once they became available, I was like, all right, this is the best spot. Might as well grab this 14 and a half. It didn't matter. My Thunder went out there and you know, ruined my bet, but we got the win, and I'll take the win on the road. But I decided to fade the Jazz. I decided to rely on the Jazz, not fade them. Team total points. Got this on BetMGM. Pretty much all of these picks that I grabbed was mostly on BetMGM and a little bit on DraftKings. Team total points to go over 110. The number did go up. I'm mad. So it's probably 108. So this actually might work out because it dipped down. That's the key thing to know. I grabbed 105 and a half. So it either dipped down 1 or dipped down 2, to be honest with the team total. I want to say more so the 108 and a half, but I grabbed 110 and a half minus 115 on DraftKings. This was the best spot to grab this. It's for them to go over the 110 and a half, for them to score 111 points tonight. Come on, laptop, push through. They're basically saying, I will read it here. They're currently averaging 117 points. Here it goes. They're averaging 117 points in the last 10 games, 80%. Last 5 games, 115 points. Literally just shy of 116 because they hit this mark 3 out of the last 5 games. Key thing, the Houston Rockets, who they're playing against on the road, at home, their defense is allowing 109 points. So kind of just feel like it's like right around that number that they probably may hit this specific spot. I think, let me double check. I think the Jazz scored 110 last night. Let me double check. $107. They went under a number. 107. So I am going to see what happens. Hopefully, the Houston Rockets defense lags today, and the Jazz make it do what it do. Next up, I decided to fade the total. To fade the total. The total actually moved. Another fade. Charlotte Hornets at Portland. I was considering taking a team total over for the Blazers. I was considering fading Charlotte. They finally came through for me. The last game, I think if I remember correctly, they actually did not score the points that I was hoping that they didn't. I think. I could be wrong. Could be the game before. But I decided to fade the number. Why? Here's why. The number currently, the last 5 games, basically, yes, it's 50-50, but technically the last 5 games at home per the Hornets, the under has hit 80% of the time. The Blazers, though, at home, the under has hit 60%, basically 3 straight games. Head-to-head matchup, though, they had 1 game, it was last season, this month, that the under did hit. It was 213 and a half, and it did go under. They only scored 173 points. So we will see what happens. Let's look at the injury report real quick. So Trey Mann is not, of course, is out. Brad Lewis is out. Blah blah blah. Those players are out. Ayton is out. He is out again. Robert Williams is game time decision. So yeah, Lonzo's more than likely going to play. Bridges is more than likely going to play. So I decided to go with this under. Again, I grabbed it on BetMGM minus 105, 220, 221 and a half. As you see, it dipped up to 224 and a half for them to go under 225. So we'll see with that pick there. And that pretty much is all of the picks for today. Yeah, as you see, I didn't grab any spreads. I did not do any money lines or anything like that. I just said, let's go with some team total points. Let's go with some overs and unders. Let's do that. And I focus, most of the rest of my energy on these NCAA picks and what I talked about during this stream. So that's that. Let me look on Pickett here and see if there's anything updating. The only thing about Pickett is that you may have to keep re-logging back in if you're idle, and I do. Keep sending my phone the code to put in. It looks like I'm still 2-1 currently. Okay. The only one that's not really working is Caesar. Oh wait, hold on. Bet. Well, I don't have anything. There we go. But that's the thing. I don't have any bets over on ESPN Bet because I just kind of don't. Okay, cool. I'm 3-1, son. Currently, yes. Let's look at this. Ooh, this one looks like it's gonna probably cash. Central Connecticut, the one I just brought up not too long ago, maybe several minutes ago. They're up 53-34, and it's like maybe roughly almost a few minutes into the second half of that game. I will gladly take this. College is yeah. I feel like because I'm really diving more into college. Well, excuse me, getting back into college because I was following college a few 5-6 years ago, and then I stopped, maybe a little bit longer than that. That I'm really gonna be looking to start really pushing for some wins, and hoping for the best for the seasons to come, for the future. So yeah, I'm currently 3-1. The only one that didn't, like I said, the only one that didn't cash is the one that I didn't do. I would be 4-0 right now if I just made the decision, went with my gut, and took Marshall on the spread. I was really leaning towards that heavy, but my mind said, well, actually the over actually sounds a little bit better. Not at all a little bit better, but it's only technically it's only 10 points, a little bit better. Like, it's not like the under wasn't close to the number. It was 10 points shy. 137 and a half. They scored 128 in total. So yeah, that's that. So let's see here. Presbyterian may have a shot at hitting this over the 65. They have 27 points. They're under 5 minutes. So I kind of have a good feeling about this pick. It was either the over or the points for either team, but really it was more so Presbyterian. And I'm glad I went with Presbyterian. Okay. All right. Let's dive into let's dive into maybe 2 picks, because again it's after 5 o'clock. Let's see. Let's look further down. See, there's 5 o'clock games now. Are there any 5:30s? There are a few. Let's see. Let's look at this here. I tried to go with Baylor. I was trying to take Baylor on their I think it was their team total points, or it may have been the spread or something. But by the time I went to go try to put it in, the game had started roughly a little bit after 4 o'clock. So that's why I'm like, dag. I was hopeful to grab that Um, yeah, see, they're because the spread was like, I think it was like 8.5 at the time, and I was like, I kind of feel, I was looking at the information on All Hours. I was like, I'm feeling really good about Baylor. Um, like I said, it was either the team total points or the spread. I can't remember. It may have even been both, but either way, I was just feeling really good about picking Baylor for this game. It may have been the team total points actually. I think it was team total points, and I was trying to get ready to put that in, but I couldn't. It wouldn't. The game, like I said, the game had just started, so we will see. So they basically finished the first half with 32 points. They actually won the first half too, 32-30. So yeah. But let's look at Georgia has 24 points currently at the half. So I need them, like I said, I need them to score I literally needed them to score 41 points in the second half. That's what I need them to do. And I'm not sure if they're going to do it because they struggled in the first half. But again, it's college. Whatever happens in the first half, sometimes shifts into the opposite direction in the second half, and teams actually go out there and ball, or teams that scored 50 plus points, because I've been watching the past few days, teams that score 50 plus points, they struggle to score another 30. So and the other team decides that they want to ball in the second, so it's just like, man, it just all depends. So let's see. Again, 5:30 games. Is there anything standing out? Do I want to take a spread here? These two teams suck. Both have the same win-loss record, but per the conference, Prairie View A&M Panthers are just a smidge better. Just a smidge. Let me look at this. See, none of them have been able to cover their number. That's the thing. None. Head-to-head matchup. See, y'all didn't cover at home. Y'all covered at away. Again, this was last season, so 75-74. Let me look at some team total. Again, guys, these are fresh picks now. Just something that I may consider doing. Look at this. This is like almost perfect, right? Oh, Pine Bluff, I remember you. I might just do this one. Look at that. Now they're averaging 70 per game against them. But they haven't been able to get 79 points at all. Let's look at as we see over here on the right. I'll also be looking at the rankings and the comparisons per offense versus defense. So offense versus, let me see. See, they're actually better on offense, even though Pine Bluff is actually, hold on. Okay. All right. Okay, so Prairie is averaging 84, while Pine Bluff is averaging 73. But let me look at let me look at okay, same thing. Same, like you have, like, literally you have same thing. Like, it's either one you can take. Now when I look at these picks, even though like the one is higher than the other, the key thing to know is that it may be smarter. Again, Pine Bluff they have two separate points. This is what sometimes what Outlier does. They give you specific numbers to pick, basically because of the value. The value would basically tell me to say, okay, let me grab Pine Bluff at minus 105 for them to go under 78 points, compared to this minus 122, which is higher, and you have to pour more into the funds into the pick. While this one could be the safer pick to grab for the Panthers here to go under the team total points over on DraftKings, for them to go under 84 points. Again, main reason when you really look at it, they've only gone close to the 84 twice over the last 10 games. Yes, sure, sort of kind of more recent, but sort of kind of more in the middle. But when you want to say the last 5 games, they only did it once. Every other time it's been 60 some odd points. So, but when you look at the other team's defense, they're actually allowing 87 points. Just something that you really want to consider. So again, it just may be smarter for you to say, go with this one, maybe, again, because the defense is allowing 84 points. And you may want to instead shift. Again, you can look at this and say, okay, they're averaging 70 points against the opponent, Pine Bluff is, but then look at Prairie and look at their head-to-head matchup with them. They're actually averaging 70. The same thing, 70, but a little bit under the specific number. So, but you may want to then go back to the actual main spot and maybe end up taking the under itself, which is 162, 161 and a half. When you look at it, Pine Bluff, they've only gone, that's the thing, they've only gone under the number 3 times out of the last 10 on the road, while the Panthers have technically have pushed more towards the under at it hitting 7 out of the last 10 games. So it's just something that you may want to consider, because sometimes when I do these picks, I'm like, well, even though Pine Bluff is struggling and the overs hitting a little bit more or way more on the road, you can consider, well, maybe more so like, well, it sounds better taking the Panthers to cover this spot, and the number, it's staying under the number a little bit more. So you can even say like there's a little bit of a trend every time they went under the number, every time they've gone over the number, they've pretty much gone under it more than over, per a little bit of a trend. So it's just something that you may want to consider, because I don't really see them scoring 200 something points tonight. Again, it's 161. Maybe maybe they'll go over the number, maybe, and maybe they'll go out here and score 80 something points. Maybe. Again, it's a maybe. But again, you can also look at what Prairie are doing as far as scoring. 67 points. They hit 82 here, 70. In the last 5 games, 80. They're technically, again, they're averaging 70 points. And them away, 78, 60, 64, 76. So it's just something to really consider with this pick. I know I kind of like dragged with this one a lot. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go on ahead, and because again, per the information, per what it says over here on the right, Pine Bluff's defense is basically saying that they're allowing 87 points when going against the offense, but when it's their offense going against the defense, they're only averaging 73. So I'm gonna go on ahead and take this number here if I can, if Caesars allows me to. because I tried to take a pick on Caesars earlier today and it wouldn't let me. And I had to go on a different sports book because this is minus 105. And I'll go on ahead and look to try to grab this number if it will allow me to. Oops, didn't mean to do that. NCAA, kind of trying to rush because the game should be getting ready to start. If it hasn't already, because it's 5:25 right now. Oh, look at you, Baylor. You have 45 points. Look, I'm trying to find it. It's 6 o'clock. Okay, Caesars, you're kind of like trying to. Let's hit view all. Okay. Got the game. See, it's not even showing up. It's saying, I don't know why it's saying that I can pick it. I can't. It's not letting me pick this team total points under on Caesars. So now I have to find another sports book. But this is the one that I'm going to go with. It's not even saying. So let's see about DraftKings here. Like I said, I've poured a lot. I have poured some of my picks in the DraftKings. But let me see if there's any a little bit better value on I'm trying to rush. Okay. This one's minus 105 for them to go under 77 points. But let me look on BetMGM. Let me see if possibly I can get the same value, but at the actual number, which is 77.5. That's the crucial thing to note. Like, yes, the value could possibly be the same, but like DraftKings is the only sports book that I've noticed that the number is different that you're looking for, that you see on your screen here on Outlier, that you're actually looking to grab. Ooh, 1 minute away, huh? See, it's minus 118 on DraftKings. So I'm just going to do that. Because again, I'm grabbing the actual number. I will suck up, just losing out on a few cents. That's all. Some people aren't willing to do that. They're like, well, I'm just going to take the other number because the value is better. Even if it is 13 points better, it's okay. I'll miss out on a few cents if it does cash. It's all right. Okay. Again, these are the games that have already gone, have already happened. So then let's kind of like speed it up. I don't think I can grab it. I don't think I have enough time to look at anything else for the 5:30 games. Oh, do I want to? I could probably grab this real quick. This would be just something that I just do off the fly here. But I have to be quick about it because it's 5:30. Oh no. I got time. This is 6 o'clock game. Okay. So never mind on that. 5:30 games are literally getting ready to start. So this is DraftKings. I just don't see. Okay, here we go. Let me look at this. Gators on the road. Second best team in the country per what this is stating, right? Do I want to take this spread at 9.5 minus 102 on FanDuel? Because it's actually the second best value is minus 105 for the LSU. For LSU to cover the number. When we look at this, Florida is covering the number 60% of the time, 6-4 basically, the last 10 games. LSU. Well, hold on. Let me really look at this. Florida on the road they're not covering the number, 2-8, while LSU at home they're covering the number 80% of the time, 8-2 against the number. But in the head-to-head matchup, let's look at this. They did not cover the only game that they played. Actually, there's no information. Interesting stuff. Maybe it's because of the number. That's probably what it is. So that was 11. Okay, so actually, Florida did not cover this number. It was 11. So technically LSU covered the number. But again, you see down at the bottom it says Florida are 15-2 ATS in the last 17 games. So let me relook at that again. Does it say anything else specific? Oh, as favorites. Okay, so as favorites, they're 15-2. So they are favorites, right? What are their favorites? It's minus 450. The question is, can LSU? Let me look at what LSU is doing as far as scoring at home. So LSU, they're like up and down, more so down. But they're. Let me look at theirs. That's the only thing I can't really see what they're. Let me go team total and really look at this. So if I decided to say take the Gators team total points over, they're at last 10 games 60% of the time, last 5 80%. Gators are averaging, the LSU is allowing 72 points. Head-to-head matchup, they actually went under the number by literally by half a point last season. Excuse me. So do I want to take this number? That's the question. I didn't mean to do. Crap. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to go back to the game lines. Sorry, I was laughing at something on one of my other YouTube channels. Okay. Oh, Georgetown's playing? Oh, that's tomorrow. All this stuff is tomorrow. Oh, what the heck? Why did it do that? I didn't click on tomorrow. Nani? Come Come on, come on. Okay, still 3-1 currently, per my record for today. Oh, let me how's that first NBA game going? We're half hour into the first game. Chicago's up 30-20. End of the first quarter. That's good. That's a good start. But again, this is NBA compared to these kids. So yeah, the question is, do I want to do I want to take Florida on the road to win by 10 tonight? Because again, LSU seems like the smarter play. Again, this is showing one thing, but it's not really the actual truth. You want to look at the actual stat for what they're actually playing. They are not covering the number the last 10 games, even though they're winning, right? A lot of their games are more close in these wins on the road. So I'm probably going to go on ahead and take a chance on LSU, because again, they are technically, even though when they lose at home, they're not losing by 10 a lot. It doesn't, 10 games. Let me see. Let me relook at this. So they lost by 10 plus last game. They didn't lose. That's 1-1. 1-2. 1-3 actually. 2-3. 3-3. 3-4. 3-5. 3-6. So they're 4 and or 5 and wait. So I'm counting wrong. 1. So 1. How many games did they did get blown up by 10 plus points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're 4 and 6 at home. So it's really not better when it's pertaining to getting blown out at home or just losing by 10 plus points. It's really not better. They're 4 and 6 when losing by 10 or more points. So it's definitely under the 500. If you look at the last 5 games, 1, 2, 3. They're 2 and 3. A little bit better. Just under 500 of not getting blown out at home. But again, they're playing against this team. Let's look at their. Let's see. Oops. So looks like they're a little bit better when it's pertaining to defense. When it's pertaining to 2 points, two point percentage versus the 3 points percentage. The Gators are much better, way better on rebounds. Let's look at the offense versus the Gators defense. Gators are better on defense, guarding the 3, better on defensive rebounds, defense in general, steals and blocks. I don't know. They won by, last 5 games alone. 1, 2. They're 2 and 5 when it's pertaining to winning by 10 plus points over the last 5. 3, 4, 4. So same thing, 4 and 6. So if I really wanted to pick something, because now the number isn't standing out the most, maybe the under on the total. Let's look at this. 'Cause it looks like the under's hitting more. It looks like a little bit. So, the over's hitting 60%. But the under's hitting 4 out of the last 5 with them at home, even in losses. Well, they went on. Interesting that they. Well, it says that it went over. This is 144.5. This says it went under the number, but it went over. It's 147. Interesting stuff. It's 153. I'm curious now. I think I am gonna fade the number, guys. Just being honest. Away, the under is hit. 4 out of the last 5. So they're both 4 and 1 to this hitting over the last 5 games. So I am gonna go on ahead and take the actually, yeah, so it looks like it went under. It says 150, but it says 1. I don't understand. So I'm gonna go on ahead and take the under here. DraftKings. Yeah, let's do that. This one seems a little bit more plausible. But at the same time, the over could hit. Oh, look at that. I guess that I will. Oh, no. Sorry. Wrong one. The number didn't move up one. It moved up to 154.5 instead of 1. Oops. But I'll take it anyway. So the number was 153. It dipped up to 154.5. So I will take the under instead. I really wanted to take the spread, kind of, but at the same time, it just wasn't standing out as a plausible pick for just being honest. Because again, they're both 4 and 6 to the to covering a number over the last 10 games. Whether Gators are winning by 10 or LSU were losing by 10. So. This one, my Kentucky Wildcats. It's my favorite team in college basketball. We're going against Alabama. The total was 181.5. It's actually, we are not favored in this game. We are the underdog. Question is, should I take for us to win? Because we have covered the number. It's saying we've covered the number. Looks like 80% over the last 10 games. 90%. Again, this is what it's saying, right? But it says Crimson Tide are covering the number 8 and 4 over the last 12 games as the favorites. But let's look at my team on the road. We are covering the number 80% of the time. We only did not cover the number twice. Alabama at home is 50-50. Would have been better if it was closer to earlier in the season when they were covering, as you see, they covered, 4? Yeah, like 4. So 4 and 3 here type of thing, but more recently. So again, they're 50-50. So they a little bit of a more of a trend though for them at home. Didn't cover, didn't cover, didn't cover. May possibly cover tonight. Maybe. Again, we are not the favorites. We are underdogs. We are highly underdogs. We're plus 500 compared to their minus 600. You know what? I forgot to look at the Head-to-head matchup. What have we done against Alabama? Forgot to look at that. So they beat us on our territory. Well, they yeah. So they scored 100. We scored 97. They scored 117. We scored 117. They scored 95. So I see why they put the 181 on there. Let me look at this. The under has been hitting though for the games. That's the thing for both teams. Yeah. Let's see. Away only went over twice. Only went over twice. Them at home only went over 3 times. But this is plus 100 though. I really want to take this plus 100. It's minus 105 over on DraftKings. Again, head to head though. The over hit twice. That's the only thing. The more recent though. Played them last month on the 18th and the over hit. But that was on our turf and a loss. So we've gone back to back going over. Alabama's gone back to back on the. No, my fault. That was away. So at home, it's 3 straight games going under for my team. 2 out of the last 5. What do I want to do? Let's look at this. It's a bit of a middle ground, but we're grabbing boards. We're better than when pertaining to grabbing rebounds. Mixture when it's pertaining to their offense, except for the steals and blocks. But their offense against our defense looks like they're a little bit better on the 2 points, just points in general. We're better at 3-point shooting and free throws, better at blocks, defensive rebounds. This actually might go under the number instead of over today. Again, the last game was recent, went over, but this has a chance to go under the number because again, more recently, both teams have sort of kind of struggled to go over the total point, which is very interesting. So, on the road, at home, the number went over for us. So we scored. We only scored 80 points 2 out of the last 5 games. Just 2. I'm gonna go on ahead and take the under. It's gonna be on DraftKings. I'm gonna take the gamble that the number dipped down to 180 and a half. So I'm gonna go on ahead and take that risk here, and I'm gonna see what happens. Let's just see what happens, son. Okay, back to the NBA. Bulls winning 48-43 against the Suns. So my under pick is going in the right direction that I need it to go. There's 5 minutes and 13 seconds left in the second quarter. So we'll see what happens. But I think, just being honest, I think we are good. Because there's literally 130 plus games tonight. I don't really want to go through all of this stuff. I think I'm just gonna call it here. Plus the stream is over an hour now. But yeah, we are hopeful to make the magic happen. 4-1 now, baby. My picks are hitting today. 4-1, son. And I just need, so the second half for the Presbyterian game against Radford, second half officially begun. They have 46 points. I just need like 19 more, 19 more points from them. That's it, just 19. That's it. Just need them to score 19 points. That's all. Can they do it? That's the question. So currently, so far, let me see. The only one that didn't hit was the Marshall one for the spread, and well for the over. I should, like I said, say it one more time. I should have taken the spread. I think it was 2.5 or 3.5 or something like that. But either way, I'm out, guys. I am out of here. I'm gonna go on ahead and go get some food, eat some dinner, and then kind of just rest and relax. And yeah, I'm kind of mad I didn't take Kansas for anything, because they're blowing Oklahoma State out the water, 84-47. Man, or even just faded Oklahoma. I didn't look at it at all, really, like at all. I was thinking about it. I was like, nah. Now I'm mad that was extra win in my pocket. Oh well. But I'm out, guys. Hopefully tomorrow, hopefully the same time, around the same time, do another live stream for the college games and the NBA. Let's look at the NBA real quick. How many games? Plethora of games tomorrow. 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 10 games tomorrow. First game's at 3:30. 4 games at 6. I'm not gonna have time to do a video tonight, so I'm just gonna have to suck it up and do a live stream tomorrow for my 2 lock picks for the 6 o'clock games. That's pretty much gonna be the setup. So, all right, like I did today. So I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your evening, noon, and night. Let's hope for the best for these picks. Whatever your picks are, if you feel up sharing to them, share them in the comments. But I'll share my results tomorrow morning on my way to work, or when I'm at work, whichever, before I get started. And then I'll be, in the midst of all of that, in between that, I'll be putting my picks together. If I don't do that tonight, if no lines really open tonight around, say, 8:30, 9 o'clock before I go to sleep, we'll see what happens. But I'm out. Holler at you later. Stay safe.